I'm going to show you one simple change you can make to all of your marketing messages that will instantly improve your ability to connect with potential clients. Hi, I'm Charlie Mann with law firm Alchemy, and I see this issue pop up in almost every law firm that I start working with. It's a really simple, basic marketing message, which kind of a good news, bad news scenario, right? It means, oh no, you could have been doing this all along, but the good news is most of your competition isn't thinking this way. You see, most lawyers in marketing are copying and pasting a lot of the marketing that they see from their competitors. So if we can stand out in small ways, you'll end up standing out in really big ways with your client, and actually your client is the key in this strategy. You see, most law firms, when they construct their marketing, make it about themselves. It's about your accolades. It's about how many years you've been in practice. Are you board certified, if that's something available to you in your practice area and your state? But great marketing is not built on answering the question, how great are you? Great marketing is built on the client's journey and our ability to be part of that conversation. There's a quote from Robert Collier, well, really the Robert Collier letter book entirely, that talks a lot about the conversation that's going on in someone's head and your ability to enter it. What made Collier great was his ability to conjure up the conversation in someone's mind and figure out a pathway for his advertising to get into that conversation. So think about that for your prospective clients. What conversations are they having internally that you can link yourself to, that you can find a way to ride that wave with the client? Let's not make our marketing combative, where we're trying to force ideas to someone. Instead, why don't we find the ideas that are already bouncing around in the noggin and attach ourselves to those, which then allow us to redirect the energy and thought process in a direction that is more productive for the client and productive for our practice. So this is a complete game changer for a lot of firms when we focus more on the client journey. Where are they at? What are they currently dealing with? And how can you help them in solving their problems? Let's use estate planning as a simple example here, because this is one of the more difficult areas to think about the client journey and the conversation in the head, because the issue is not as acute. For a lot of other firms, the issue is very acute. The credit card is being denied. They're getting notifications about potential foreclosure on the house. Bankruptcy is going to be an issue. They need to find a solution. You've been in a car accident. That's an acute legal issue, obviously. These are all examples. Family law, you're thinking about getting separated or divorced from your spouse. These are acute issues that need to be solved. Conversations start happening very rapidly. But what about estate planning, where a conversation essentially has to build over time? You see, most of us are not preoccupied with thinking about our own death. And even if we are, very little of that preoccupation is about what happens to our earthly possessions after we die. So how can we actually enter that conversation? Well, if someone has recently had a kid, purchased a vacation home, might be going on a vacation that is a far distance away and they're going to have to get on the plane recently after having children, or maybe it's the first time that the parents are going away and they start having those thoughts of what happens if something happens to us. That's a conversation that you can enter in someone's mind and start progressing their journey. You can latch onto, did you recently have a kid? Did you recently buy a vacation home? So instead of making this all about, you need to get your estate planning done, instead we look at it and go, what has changed in a person's life and what relevant conversations may be bouncing around in their head because of that change in their life? Now we attach to that and we move them along and we progress them towards, hey, this is why you've got to have an estate plan. But if we're constantly forcing ourselves against conversations that are not actually happening, this is more or less an arrogant way to market. If you are trying to tell people a fact that they are not equipped to accept because you aren't going through a path of persuasion, instead you are simply telling them, I'm the best, you have to hire a lawyer. Why would you go down the path of most resistance? That's taking a cudgel to your client's mind and hoping that it turns out all right. Instead, again, we observe, who is my ideal client? What journey are they on? Within that journey, what conversations are they likely having along the way? And how can I continue to move this forward? This is a complete game changer for firms that I work with. And it changes the way, even on a website, for example, that we present ourselves. Instead of someone coming to the site and we're using the old tired, we've been here for 27 years, we're aggressive, we're trustworthy, we care for our clients. Goodness gracious, I hope you care for your clients. Every other law firm is saying how much they care for their clients. which means it becomes the white noise of marketing for law firms. Instead, let's look directly at the client journey, find an opportunity to be part of that and engage them where they are, rather than us doing a little bit of chest beating and hoping that they will come to us. Now, there is space for a little bit of that chest beating for you to show that you are in alpha in the law firm sphere. You do want to present authority, expertise, etc. But the question I'll equip you with there is, how relevant is your authority and expertise to where they currently are? Clients have a big gulf between the inciting incident of thinking that they need a law firm to help them out and the actual decision to hire a lawyer. Look along that path and figure out, when does authority and expertise become relevant to them? Expertise early on may be really valuable. They may be looking for information that is relevant to their legal situation or whatever is ultimately going to lead to needing to hire a lawyer. They don't always perceive that it's a legal situation up front. How many people end up hiring a family law attorney after thinking that they might be able to handle the divorce themselves? View it as the I need to hire a lawyer situation, but a progression of issues, some combativeness. So what if that expertise at the beginning stage is how to communicate with a spouse when you're thinking about separating from them? Now we can enter a whole different part of the client journey that is long before the decision point, and that's because we're focusing on the client's journey, not focusing on how great that we are. Maybe along the way, when they start thinking about, I might need a lawyer, we do want to make sure that they understands all the bona fides, all of the qualifications, all the reasons someone should hire you, stack full of those testimonials, social proof, everything that you can imagine, but that may not be where they are at the beginning of the journey, so we don't want to force that type of marketing too early. And if that's the only type of marketing that you're doing, marketing that's near the point of decision, you're missing out on this huge space of clients who are not yet ready to hire you, but will be ready to hire you in the next weeks or months. So make that shift. Think, where is my client at in his or her journey? What conversations are going on in their head? And by the way, it might be conversations out loud. What are the conversations happening at the dinner table after the kids have gone to bed, when the parents are washing dishes and they're thinking about, how do we deal with this problem? Oh, we gotta do something about this car accident case, etc. Those conversations, how can you be part of those to lead someone to make the right decision in hiring your firm? If you want more information like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in really taking this to the next level with one-on-one coaching or courses, take a look at the information below on how we can work together to rapidly accelerate the growth of your law firm.